Hello, Assalamu alaikum students. So let's begin with the new chapter on open channels. So let's see the derivation of Chazy's formula. So we are considering a uniform flow. In uniform flow, the cross section through which the flow occurs is constant along the channel, and so is the velocity. So the depth of flow, the depth of water, that is y1 is equal to y2 at two sections 1 and 2 is equal, which is equal to y naught, and the velocity at two section v1 is equal to v2, which is equal to v. And the channel bed, water surface and energy line are parallel to one another. As you know, the water surface, it follows the slope of the bed, and the energy line, as the velocity is constant, so energy line is also parallel to water surface. So if you look at this figure, the bed slope is with the horizontal, it makes an angle theta, and the bed slope is S naught. This is your water surface, and for an open channel, the water surface is representing the hydraulic grade line, above which we have an energy line, and the difference between these two is velocity head, v2 square over 2g. As the energy line, it will drop because of the head losses, and the distance between the two sections is delta x. As the bed slope, it is offering resistance to the moving fluid, so that resistance, that is basically represented with the help of shear stresses, and those shear stresses are in opposite direction to the flowing velocity, and these shearing stresses, they are represented by tau naught. They will be acting on the perimeter of the channel, on the complete perimeter. For this circular channel, it will be for the complete, it is acting on the complete perimeter. For the length L, you can say. And let's consider the water forces on the two faces. So they are directed towards the section. So F1 and F2 are opposite direction. We can say that they are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. And the weight of fluid flowing is acting vertically downward, W. As a bed slope, it makes an angle theta with horizontal. So this vertical weight W will make the angle theta with normal to this bed slope. So if I resolve this weight into two components, parallel to the bed slope and the other perpendicular, so this perpendicular component is making angle theta with this weight. So the component of weight which is in the direction of velocity is W sine theta. So let's write the force balance equation in the direction of flow, taking F1 direction as positive. So F1 minus F2. So as they are equal in magnitude and opposite direction, so they cancel out. And we'll consider this W sine theta component. It is in the direction of flow, so it is plus. Weight is specific weight into volume. So gamma into volume, cross-sectional area into L is volume into sine theta. This is equal to the shearing stresses, which is acting in the opposite direction. The shear stress has to be converted to force, so you have to multiply by the shearing area, which will be perimeter into length. So now rearranging this expression for shear stress, we get gamma AL sine theta over PL. So L cancel out, and area over perimeter is R, hydraulic radius. For the channel with small bed slope, that is S naught less than 0.1, we can safely assume that the bed slope is equal to the water slope, which is equal to S, the energy line slope, which is equal to sine theta. So we can replace sine theta by S naught. So shear stress is gamma R S naught. So here they have also explained the way to calculate these bed slopes. From any datum, the vertical distance till the bed is Z1 for section 1, Z2 for the section 2. The water depth is Y1 at section 1 and Y2 at section 2. And the velocity head is V1 square over 2g and V2 square over 2g. So bed slope will be the difference of these two elevations, z1 minus z2 divided by the distance delta x. The water slope, it can be computed as z1 plus y1 minus z2 plus y2 divided by delta x. And for the s, we'll also have to add those velocity heads, v1 square root 2g and v2 square root 2g, and take the difference. And or you can say simply head loss over delta x. So we can also represent the shear stress by this formula. Tau naught is equal to Cf rho v square over 2, where Cf is coefficient of friction, rho is the density, v is the velocity. So if we compare these two equations and then rearrange for velocity, we get v is equal to, then also taking square root, so square root 2g over Cf into square root r s naught. We have a relationship between coefficient of friction and friction factor. So coefficient of friction Cf is equal to f by 4. So here we can write it in the form of f. So it is 8g over f. And the Chazy's constant C is basically this under root 8g over f. So we get v is equal to c under root rs naught, which is Chazy's formula, c being the Chazy's constant. So you have to remember this conversion, that c is under root 2g cf, which is equal to under root 8g f, where cf is f by 4. So let's see the first problem. Water is flowing in a 2 meter wide rectangular brick channel having n, the Manning's constant 0.016, at a depth of 120 centimeter. The bed slope is 0.0012. Estimate the flow rate, that is discharge, using Manning's equation. So we know the Manning's equation with SI units. It is discharge Q is equal to 1 over N, AR 2 by 3, S naught 1 by 2, where A is a cross-sectional area, R is a hydraulic radius, which is equal to ratio of area to perimeter, and S naught is a bed slope. So for the cross-sectional area, the width is known, it is 2 meter, and the depth is 120 centimeter, so it is 1.2 meter. So area is width into depth, 2 into 1.2, and the perimeter, it will be b plus 2 times the depth, b plus 2y, so 2 plus 2 into 1.2, so the hydraulic radius is 0.545 meters, which we have to substitute in this formula. It has power 2 by 3, and S naught is a bed slope, which is given in the statement 0.012. So solving this equation, we'll get the discharge in meter cube per second. So problem number 2 is, at what depth will the water flow in a 4 meter wide rectangular channel if n is 0.018, S naught is 0.0009, and Q is 7 meter cube per second. So we have to use the same Manning's equation, and discharge in this case is known, it is 7. N is given, it is 0.018, and but the y, the water depth, is unknown. So we have to write area in the form of y. The width is 4 meter, so area is 4y. Perimeter is 4 plus 2y, and hydraulic radius, it is a ratio of area to perimeter. So substituting the area and perimeter in this equation with the value of bed slope and Manning's constant, we will have this equation. Now we have to solve for this equation, and this has to be solved using hit and trial basis. You have to write the equation. You can write the equation in the calculator. So over here I have added this animation video to give you guys a hint how to solve equations on calculator. This is for this particular model. Your calculator might have different ways to solve, but you have, I think, 2 to 3 ways to solve equations on calculator. So over here I'm going to explain only this one method, which is in this animation. So what we do is, we are going to make use of this calc button, and we are going to add variables with this alpha. As you can see with alpha, it is written in maroon color, so you can add variables in your equation once you press this alpha, and then if you press any key, this bracket key, this bracket key has x written over the top, so you can add x, similarly y, m, a, b, c, d, e, f. You can add as many as variables as you want. So for this equation, they are using a fraction equation with the variable x, only one variable known. So for one equation, obviously there will be only one variable. So first of all, you have to pick this fraction button, and then press alpha, the variable, add the variable, write the equation, then equal to the constant value 10, and then hit this shift and calc button, and it will simply give you this value of x. And there are other ways as well which you can discuss with me during the class for your own calculator model. And so let's see the third numerical. Refer to the figure and suppose the width b1, b2 and b3 are 25, 8 and 45 meters, and the total depth are 0.4, 2.8 and 1.1 meters. Compute the flow rate, that is discharge, if the bed slope S0 is 0.018, while the N1 is equal to N3, which is 0.035, and N2 is 0.022. So using Manning's equation, the discharge is 1 over n AR 2 by 3 S naught 1 by 2. So in this case, if you compute the total area of this section and compute the total perimeter and then use this Manning's equation, that would be a wrong computation basically. What you have to do is you have to divide it into three parts, and for this first part you compute the discharge. Similarly for the other parts you separately compute the discharge, and then taking the sum, the total discharge will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So for the first part, let's see how to do it. The width is known, it is 25, and its water depth is 0.4, and perimeter will begin from this water surface, and it will be in the form of this L till here. So 1 over n is 0.035, area will be 25 into 0.4, and R is area over perimeter, and the perimeter is 25 plus 0.4 power 2 by 3, and bed slope is 0.018 power 1 by 2. So plus Q2. For Q2, the area is 8 into 2.8 divided by n, which is 0.022, into the area 8 into 2.8, and perimeter will be, for this part it will begin from the junction of the first part, so it will be the total water depth 2.8 minus the first water depth, which is 0.4, so it is 2.4 plus b2, which is 8, plus this much part, which is 2.8 minus 1.1, so it is 1.7. So perimeter is 2.4 plus 8 plus 1.7. And similarly, you have to do it for the third part, Q3. Its area will be width 45 into the depth 1.1, and the Manning's constant was 0.035, and perimeter will be same, 45 plus 1.1. So finally, you have the discharge 134.6 meter cube per second. So let's solve the last numerical, which is a trapezoidal section. The cross section is shown in the figure, which is for a canal forming a portion of Colorado River aqueduct, which is to carry a discharge of 44 meter cube per second. The canal is lined with concrete for n is 0.014. So calculate the slope of the channel, that is a bed slope, and what is the drop in elevation per kilometer. And the second part is, if the slope in the canal were to decrease to 22 meter cube per second, and all other data including the slope and n being the same, what would be the depth of water? So cross-sectional area for the trapezoid, it is basically the average of these two sides and then multiplied by the distance between them. So 15.1 plus 6.1 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. So you get 31.8 meter square. So we can get velocity by discharge over area. So 44 divided by 31.8 will get 1.384 meter per second. So perimeter is base width 6.1 plus 2 times side slope. So 2 into 5.41. So it is 16.92 meters. And hydraulic radius is area over perimeter 31.8 divided by 16.92. So it is 1.879 meters. And we know in SI units the Manning's equation is 1 over n AR2 by 3 S naught 1 by 2. So substituting all these values, the charge, so we can also write it for velocity. Velocity would be 1 over n r 2 by 3 s naught 1 by 2. So they're using velocity over here 1.384, n is 0.014 and r is 1.879, power 2 by 3, and s naught, you have to compute s naught. This s naught is in meter per meter. So you have to convert it to meter per kilometer. So in the second part, we have to find out the water depth when the discharge is 22 meter cube per second. So for this trapezoidal section, we have to write the expression for area, perimeter, and so will be the hydraulic radius in terms of y. So y is the vertical depth and side slope is given. It is 1.5 ratio 1. So this means 1.5 is horizontal and 1 is vertical. So if vertical is y, horizontal will be 1.5 y. So for the area, I'm dividing this trapezoid into rectangle and triangle. For the central rectangular part, it is 6.1 into y. And for this triangle, it is half base into height. So half into y into 1.5 y into 2 because there are two triangles. So solving we get 6.1 y plus 1.5 y square. And the perimeter is 6.1 into 2 times the side slope. Side slope is square root perpendicular square plus base square, so square root y square plus 1.5 y square. Taking y outside, you get y under root 1 plus 1.5 square, which is equal to 1.8, so it is 3.6 y plus 6.1. So substituting these equations for area and perimeter into this discharge equation, and then you can solve it like we have previously discussed, using the solve button. Write the equation and simply solve. It will give you this value of y, or you can also write tables in calculator and give a range for particular y values, and in that case you can also basically what you can do is you can bring the equation to one side, like you can take this right hand side to the left and then take this equation equal to 0, and in the table you can see where the value approaches to 0, it will be more closer to the actual answer, and that will give you a hint, and finally you can reach to this answer with 2 decimal places is enough. So try it out on your own calculators, find out various ways, and you can also discuss with me during your lab part. So thank you so much. All the best. Allah Hafiz.